I'm going to go back a little bit to when you started talking about how I first started going up to Mavericks with 6 months of surfing experience, no performance surfing, no comp surfing. And I kind of wanted to elaborate on what was going through my head during those times. And there was delusion and confidence is similar, but I got this confidence instilled in me from my dad. And he always, for some reason, would always tell me hey, you can be the best if you train the hardest. And people kind of up there all around the surf team, whatever, for totally good reason, were hey, you shouldn't be going. You're not prepared. This isn't for you. And I had done the work in a different way. There's different ways to approach these kind of challenges. And what they didn't know is that I was in the pool all the time doing breath holds, training my whole life in every other sport for body awareness, and actually was doing research on Mavericks and the mechanics of it, watching every video you could possibly make. And let's see some notes I wrote down here. But oh yeah, this is really important. My first time going up to Mavericks, I'd been surfing for 6 months, and I saw a swell pop up on the charts. And I didn't go for the first day because it was a really big, it was 40 foot and offshore, and I knew that was unreasonable. But I knew the next day would be maybe half the size and kind of the size that I was looking to target. And I really thought for a very long time, is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? And at the end of that evening, I came to the conclusion that if I want to go into this direction of big wave surfing, I at least have to go see what it is that I need to train for. That's really why I went, just to take a look at it. Did I know I was going to get caught inside in the first 5 minutes and almost drown? No. But
no vest.
No vest, yeah. It's kind of we can hop right into it. It's a sick story. Yeah, I just decided to go up there, called ahead, got a board ready, woke up at 3 in the morning in LA, drove up, got there at 9, picked up the board, and went over to the cliff, and I saw some guys suiting up, going out, older gentlemen, Mavericks OGs, and I just asked them hey, what's up? My name's Anthony. I just want to ask you guys a couple questions about Mavericks, trying to be smart, trying to get the inside scoop on dangers, whatever. And I was hey, is there any currents that I really need to know about? Are there any hazards that are unreasonable that you'd like to tell me about? And they're dude, who are you? What are you talking about? Where are you from? You're not going out. Pack your stuff up and go home. And I was look, I'm going out regardless, and I've done the training. I just want to know a couple things, from the wise guys that have a lot of experience. And they gave me a couple tips, told me where to paddle out from, kind of the direction of the current and how it changes from different swell directions. And I ended up paddling out, and I remember paddling out, and I watched from the side. And this day was super glassy, as glassy as it gets. And the waves I saw were triple overhead, so about 18-foot faces. And they looked so beautiful. The first thing I just thought is wow, these are natural water slides. These are just incredible. And some notable rides I saw this guy Colin Dwyer getting these waves that were incredible. He was so committed. He was leaning so far forward on his board and just paddling with no hesitation, and it was so cool to see. And after letting guys get waves, I kind of moved into the spot of where the waves would break so I could try to line one up and catch one. And this thing just stacked up out of nowhere. Sometimes Mavs, this wave will just pop up, and no joke, it was a 35-foot face. I have a photo somewhere, but I can find it from a photographer on the clip. But everyone just started scratching, and I knew I was gonna get caught inside. So I just went to my breath hold training. I just sat there, took some deep breaths, and just swam down.
You didn't try to make it out. You just went. You knew you were into too far, and you had to just.
Yeah, I knew, save all your energy, and I've seen every video. Up to this moment, I've seen every video about Mavericks that exists on the internet. And seeing Mark Healy talk about it, see him getting caught inside, and I was okay, this is it. It's a video. So, and honestly, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this huge black wall just stretched out so far, I just thought, oh, this is Mavericks? Okay, I understand why the name carries so much weight. And I just thought, hey, God, if I survive this, I'm never coming back, I promise. Please help me. I just sat there, took some deep breaths, swam down, it landed like right in front of me. I got exploded. I remember going up first for like a while, like several seconds, and then I hit, got shook, and just started going down. And it went from like brown to black to like outer space pitch black. And I was equalizing my ears because I used to scuba dive and just like trying to stay calm. And I was like, whoa, this is really, really bad. I've never felt something like this before. And I was like, okay, it's like, you know, I've seen Chasing Mavericks. You got to climb your leash. And right when that thought entered my head, I just felt the leash snap. And I was like, okay, that's it. You're the guy, unprepared, don't have the right safety equipment. You're in over your head. You're going to drown. And there was pretty much no even time to panic. Like, I just hung out and I was like, okay, let's see what this is like. And after a while, you know, it subsided. Luckily, there was no second wave. If there was a second wave, it'd be a totally different story. But I just swam up, and I remember just coming up, and I was like, oh my God, that was insane. And the other dude popped up next to me, and like I looked at his face, and I was like, what is he panicking about? He's like the expert, and he has like an inflated vest. And it was just so much crazy euphoria. And the first thing he said, he's like, dude, are you okay? Like, do you want me to call the Coast Guard? And I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm going to swim in, and goes back to training. You know, I did the breath hold training. I knew to stay calm. I was capable of swimming all the way to the beach because I'd been on swim team. And I swam in, and I grabbed my board. Someone on the beach had my board. It's like probably like a 40-minute swim. When my board went through the rocks, this crazy boneyard, you surf in front of these massive rocks at Mavericks, and sometimes the board can sneak through, very rarely, but it was like unscratched. And I saw that as a sign of like, hey, you're meant to be here. You're meant to go back out, get back on the horse. I was like, where's the nearest surf shop? Drove to Jeff Clark's shop. I was like, oh, look, I snapped this leash. Like, is there a better leash? He goes, yeah, take it, get this, stay covered. It's like $100. I was like, okay, cool. Paddled back out, and I got a little sleigh ride, and I drove home. And I just
you caught a small one.
Like a shoulder sleigh ride. Like a sleigh ride is the kind of a wave that doesn't fully break, but you get some momentum traveling on it. It doesn't count, but I was really happy with it. And yeah, I mean, I was like, hey, I can't wait to go back. And I went back the next week, actually. Got a vest. Nasty story, that one. It went even worse.
Going on lately, bro. Everybody acting real different and shit. Ain't nobody was talking to me like a few months ago, and everybody hit my phone up and shit.